Shalom, everyone. This is going to be the first video of a number of videos that I will be doing on the Black Qabbbalah, which is the aspect of the esoteric Qabbbalah that deals with the Luciferian mysteries. In fact, this is actually the subject contained within this video is actually not the first video that I wanted to do on the Black Qabbbalah, but unfortunately, the time is not yet ripe or right for me to release the first video that I wanted to release on the Black Qabbbalah. But I felt an urgency in displaying or revealing this video. But the point is that in the near future, I will be doing much more complex, longer videos on the Black Qabbbalah, detailing, teaching, and revealing some of the most esoteric Luciferian mysteries, some which are not, I don't even think are known by some of the most initiated Luciferians. All proof that indeed I am Chief Magician of Mystery Babylon, fully initiated both into the Luciferian and Holy Mysteries, as one of the highest initiates of the Kingdom of Elohim and of Elohei Israel. Now, this video is about a very powerful satanic archon or duke who is called Danthelion, and he is mentioned in one of the most ancient and premier and famous grimoires known as the Lesser Key of Solomon. These are very ancient, powerful black magic texts that go back all the way to King Shlomo of Israel. And so in this particular grimoire, known as the Lesser Key of Solomon, also as the Goetia, which is the Greek word for black magic, because really these are black magic texts for all intents and purposes. And this text essentially details out the complete 72 dukes within the satanic godhead. Now, I haven't done any videos, as I initially stated, on the Black Qabbbalah, fully teaching and revealing the comprehensive nature of the satanic godhead, but they will be done in the near future. But essentially, there are 72 dukes that exist within the satanic godhead. As such, this makes this duke or archon a most very powerful god, so to speak. Now, we read here, this snippet here that you see on the slide is taken from this grimoire, the Lesser Key of Solomon, and it's a little paragraph essentially giving an overall synopsis of this satanic duke, which is that he is the 71st spirit or god, whose name is Danthelion, and he is a duke great and mighty, appearing in the form of a man with many countenances, all men's and women's faces, and he hath a book in his right hand. His office is to teach all arts and sciences unto any, and to declare the secret counsel of anyone, for he knoweth the thoughts of all men and women, and can change them at his will. He can cause love and show the similitude of any person, and show the same by a vision, let them be in what part of the world they will. He governeth 36 legions of spirits, and this is his seal, which weareth thou. Now, his seal can be seen in the picture for this video on my channel. Now, this is as it correctly states here, he's a very powerful god. Very, very powerful duke within the satanic godhead. So it's very, very powerful satanic adversarial being, to say the least. And he's actually a being that is very famous amongst black magicians. He's a very favorite demon to be invoked and evoked by many black magicians, because he has a lot of power, and essentially he has the power to manipulate people's thoughts and people's will, and he also has the ability to teach lots of knowledge and wisdom on practically all subjects. This, as a result of these abilities that he has, this makes him not only a very powerful satanic duke, but a favorite amongst all the daemons to be evoked or invoked by many black magicians. Since many black magicians are in the art of manipulating other people's wills and thoughts and choices, as well as gaining knowledge and wisdom of higher sciences and arts, whatever they may be. Okay, so he's a very, very well-known and popular demon amongst many black magicians. And so so I think that's really important to know. Now, this passage here correctly states what his appearance is like. Any black magician who has evoked him will tell you that indeed he appears as a human with many countenances, as I will show you here shortly, and he has a book in his right hand. So this is exactly how he appears when he is evoked. Any black magician, if there are even any listening to my video, which I hope they are not, I pray that they are not, will more than know and understand this. Now, you have to understand that this grimoire that is attributed to King Shlomo of Israel was originally in ancient Aramaic and Hebrew script. Okay, so what most versions of this text nowadays, at least for the past 200 years, have been inferior and corrupt English translations of the ancient Aramaic and Hebrew text. And this is a fact. The real original versions are in possession of the most elite Luciferians, most of them being Israelites and Jews, really, because it is us that rule and run the world for the most part. Now, the name Danthelion is actually a Hebrew or Aramaic name, and I have it here on the slide, as you can see. And so it basically signifies, it's actually an ancient Aramaic, and in ancient Aramaic, it signifies judgment of the dragon. Now, there are many black magicians, Luciferians, that would say that the correct signification of this name is hanging judgment. Okay, because the last four Hebrew letters there, which spell Danthelion, come from an ancient Hebrew and Aramaic root meaning to hang. So on one level, it can be interpreted as hanging judgment. But if you're fluent in ancient Aramaic like I am, you'll know that the word tali also means dragon. Okay, and so Danthelion then would mean it's very hard to translate what Danthelion is in English, but the best way to convey the meaning of the word would be a dragon that is that takes on the attributes of a dragon in a very how can I put this, in a very concentrated way. So this isn't just any regular dragon. This is like a dragon of all dragons, you can think of it. So essentially, his name signifies judgment of the dragon because he is essentially part of the archetypal dragon. He is within the satanic godhead. The satanic godhead is represented Kabbalistically or esoterically as a dragon. Okay, and so he is part of that dragon system or godhead, which is why his name, is related to that, to the meaning of dragon. Okay, and now he holds a book of judgment, and this is, I think, this is what demonstrates and proves the vast stupidity of many black magicians that play with these texts and make contracts with these demons, and perform black magic. This is a demonstration of their sheer stupidity, irregardless of how high their IQs or SQs may be. Okay, because this book of that he holds in his right hand is actually a record for when we all stand before judgment. Okay, and it is because free will. You have to understand that quintessentially, free will is of the highest and most sacred nature, and left alone even by the Most High. And so people must freely choose if they will serve, Elohim or not, just like the fallen did. Okay, and so one of the greatest forms of blasphemy is to override somebody's free will. Okay, and so essentially, this powerful Duke records all of these interactions with the magicians in this book, because all of these interactions will be used against that magician upon his death and upon the day of judgment when he is judged. Now, engaging in black magic and making contracts with these inferior satanic entities is a first-class ticket to hell. Okay, and this clearly goes over the head of most black magicians that engage in these magical operations. okay, demonstrating their sheer stupidity. As much Qabbbalah as they may know, as much of the holy mysteries as they may know, as much of the Luciferian mysteries as they may know, as much of a high spiritual quotient they may have, even a very high intelligence quotient that they may have, it's meaningless. It means nothing, because when they die, they're going straight to hell. And these demons are going to be torturing them in ways that cannot even be explained or described or understood, here on Earth. Okay? And so very, very important to understand that. Now, here, I wanted to show what this archon or Satanic Duke looks like
this power
when he is evoked. Okay, so here you're going to see what he looks like.
Is
I love you, David, but you're nuts, kiddo. You're
a danger no one is ready for. The real me
is an imminent threat to our future, our safety, our one-way ticket to
utter destruction. Legion premieres Tuesday, April 3rd on FX.
So, if you were to evoke this Satanic Duke, what you just saw is actually what you would see outside of the circle of evocation. Okay? Now, what you saw there was a clip taken from an upcoming season of a show that comes on this channel called FX, called Legion, which just happens to be the name of a very powerful satanic demon. Okay? And so, this is why, this goes back to what we read in the New Testament in Luke chapter 8, verse 30, where it states, and Yeshua asked him, saying, what is thy name? And he said, Legion, because many demons or devils were entered into him. Okay, so here we have this show coming on FX, and in one of the trailers for this show, they actually show you the appearance of a very powerful Satanic Duke or God in your face. And they had the audacity to name the show Legion, which is about this very powerful individual who has all of these extraordinarily great supernatural abilities. He has the ability of telekinesis, telepathy, pyrokinesis, etc. He has, name any supernatural ability, this individual has it. And the fact that they call in the show Legion is a subtle reference and indication that the reason that this individual has all of these great, powerful abilities and strengths is because he is possessed by this very powerful demon called Legion. And then they have the audacity to show you a very powerful Satanic Duke within one of the trailers, which is Danthelion. So if you can read between the lines, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and are at least initiated at a high level like myself, you can see all of these Luciferian and demonic allusions, references, throughout this entire show. And this is all part of the satanic media that is so present and prevalent in our generation, right? We have a 2010 movie called The Legion, dealing with fallen angels and the demon Legion, right? We have many shows and movies that contain actual cameos of demons. They don't even need to do CGI anymore to, show a demon. They can just evoke the demons on set. And most people don't even know that they're actually seeing demons, real actual manifestation of real demons that have been invoked on set. Many fiction books like Harry Potter contain actual demonic Luciferian spells, black magic spells. Real actual spells are actually contained in the Harry Potter books. Black magic, homosexuality, sorcery, Luciferianism are being promoted worldwide now en masse, throughout media. And Hollywood and America are the biggest promoters and pushers of all of this. We have very ignorant and retarded individuals that can't even don't even know that homosexuality is a very blasphemous, very evil, satanic, magical act. And that's how stupid and retarded people have become in this last generation. Then we have much of the media pushing a very, very, very high level, powerful Luciferian magic known as demonic sexual congress, whereby which the magician engages in conjugal union with very powerful gods, not just any gods, but satanic gods and archons and dukes and marquises. Okay, one perfect example of this is a recent movie that just came out called The Shape of Water, which is a movie about a woman engaging in conjugal union with a demonic entity. It's so in your face. Then you have Lucifer openly making cameos in many famous popular global shows and movies. As an example, we have Fox, who has been repeating this very famous popular show called Lucifer, glorifying and promoting Lucifer, where he's making numerous cameos in every show alongside fallen angels. We have a recent movie that just came out called American Satan, where Lucifer makes a cameo in the movie. Literally, Lucifer makes a cameo in the movie. He shapeshifts into an old man, and he starts just openly telling his secrets to those who watch the movie, telling you the names of people who have sold their souls to him. He openly tells you in this movie that very famous rappers like Jay-Z and Kanye West have sold their souls to him, and how he manipulates them and has them do blasphemous acts and make blasphemous songs. And so this is just all very, very lamentable. This is the last generation that we live in, and Lucifer has now, is openly revealing himself to the entire world, truly flexing his muscle, and demonstrating that it is he who, for the most part, runs this world, and doing his best to influence and program as many people as possible. Here I just gave you some shows of some movies and shows, and you have all of these stupid, retarded goyim that go and scoop up, all of these shows and movies for entertainment, for mindless entertainment, not realizing, not knowing how Luciferian, all of this media that they're consuming mindlessly is, and how they're being satanically programmed in the process. So I hope you learned, quite a bit, because the higher, the moment you not only are initiated into the holy mysteries, but even become initiated into the Luciferian mysteries, through the proper holy way. That is, I've been initiated into the Luciferian mysteries without actually engaging in any Luciferian acts, right? It's all about, the theory, the knowledge, the wisdom, but not practicing it, right? There's a big difference. There's a thick line between those two. Okay, so once you gain all this knowledge and wisdom, then you can begin to easily see Lucifer's hand in the entire world. That is the invincible hand that runs the entire world. So with that said, I conclude. Shalom, Ramein.